All right, guys, we are coming in live real quick. We're getting people in here right now. We're gonna just get right into the Daily Wolves podcast here and kind of go in. People are joining right now. A lot of people are joining, but we're gonna kind of round it up real quick here. I'm gonna play. We got comments coming in already. I love that. I love the energy. People are coming in. Let's go. People are coming in right now, but let's kind of run it real quick. I'm gonna put out the link real quick to everybody. Enjoy our little preview before we kind of dive into it, guys. So enjoy.
2 to play in the third. Fun game here in the Twin Cities. Look at the moves by Edwards. Swashbuckling and Anthony Edwards skies. Are you kidding me, Ant-Man? Edwards, yes sir! He's here, ladies and gentlemen.
There's some ball players right there, Fitzy. You got some ball players, Fitzy.
Yes, sir. Minnesota coming in with a win. Winning tonight. Let's hear it, guys. Let's hear it. That was an insane game. A double OT thriller. We got comments pouring in left and right. Viewers are coming in. Shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to everyone that follows us here at the Daily Wolves, putting up with our irrational posts, tweeting, whatever you want to put it. But it's been a whirlwind of emotions. We're just like you. We get tied into games. We love it. That's what we live for. Hopefully you enjoy all our content. But yeah, we got people pouring in right now. I love it. I love the energy, Enrique. That's my guy over there. Let's go. All caps. We love that, man. Andrew, you're in the building tonight. What's good, man? And how did you feel about that win? Is your blood pressure okay? Like, how you doing over there?
Blood pressure is good. I'm incredibly jealous of Chris Hines and John Krasinski who went out to Denver because that one, that game was insane. If you're looking at MVPs, right? And I know Shea is getting a lot of traction right now, but like, how do you vote against Jokic? Dude played every minute of the second half, every minute of overtime, was still putting in buckets, still putting in effort. I mean, Wolves got the win, but like, holy cow, is Jokic insane?
It's absolutely insane. That dude is like on a different realm. Like, there's no person on this planet who can tell me Jokic isn't the MVP over SGA. I mean, he's just absolutely insane this year, and they just couldn't stop him at a certain point. And he played what, the whole entire second half straight, 24 minutes, then goes to OT, doesn't sit down at all. That's insane for a guy. I mean, what are they doing? We're getting more people in here. We're at over 500 people in here. Shout out to everyone joining this late in the night. I mean, it's a Tuesday night, and the Timberwolves just put on a thriller in the NBA. Before we get into the rest of the show, guys, for you real quick, we are partnered with Better, the best sports betting app out there, BETR, on your app store. Put in that promo code you see on the screen, the Daily SPN, all one word. We're hooking you guys up with a $200 deposit match on your first deposit with Better. It's the best sports betting app out there. And guess what? You can legally bet in the state of Minnesota with the app. So I don't know what you're waiting for. Go bet today. Start betting on the game or on Thursday, or maybe bet on the Twins home opener coming up here. Before we kind of dive into everything else, I just want to tell people in here, if you do want to come on the show today, if you want to come up here with us today, all you got to do is send me a DM, send a direct message to the Daily Wolves. We're going to test it out. We're going to do it today. We're going to try to bring people. If you're able to do video and audio, we're going to try to bring you guys on the show. You can use your phone, use whatever. And we want to hear your thoughts. So if you want to come on for a few minutes and share your thoughts, DM the Daily Wolves. Let's get you on the show tonight, guys. Also, Andrew, at this point, I like this comment right here. Do we own the Denver Nuggets at this point, man?
Yeah, I mean, we do. We had Adam on from DNVR and what is their All NBA podcast with Legs. We had him on, and he kind of said the same thing. Minnesota's the only team they can't figure out. And tonight, where you're down Naz Reid, I mean, he's the best Jokic defender on the team. You're down Dante. He's obviously a fighter. They still pull off another win. And I mean, for all extensive purposes, the starters didn't show up in the first quarter. They're minus 16 and had a minus 140 net rating. 140. That's insane. And they still found it at some point, got all the way back into it, and just kept responding to Jokic just putting in buckets. I mean, if you're Denver, you have to look at the Wolves, and I mean, they have to not want to play the Wolves in the first round. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
For some reason, the ball bounces the right way. Ant decides to go absolutely nuclear at times. And I mean, tonight, this is the Nickeil Alexander-Walker game, right? Like, he hits 3 free throws. He talked about it all last week in practice. We got the privilege to speak to him last Thursday, and he said, like, what I do is lead by example, and what I lead with is consistency. Like, I am going to be the same guy regardless of minutes, regardless of shots, regardless of defensive assignment. That's what he does. And he did it tonight. They desperately needed a spark. Nickeil came in and gave it. And then he closed the game, which is very reminiscent of the Oklahoma City game where they ended up benching Ant for most of the fourth quarter. And Nickeil closed that game too. I think it's just becoming very apparent that, one, he's going to get paid this offseason. And two, the Wolves should probably pay him. I mean, he's so important to this team's chemistry.
So important. And he's still a young player. People forget, like, Nickeil is 26 years old, I believe. He's still a young player, and he's not even in his prime yet. He starts entering it probably at 27. And he's going to age with Anthony Edwards, Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, all those guys, TSJ, Jalen Clark. Like, he's so important. You see it tonight. Incredible. The best player in the first half. Kept the Timberwolves really in the game. 26 points overall in the game. 8 assists for Nickeil tonight. 7 rebounds. 8 for 16 shooting. Incredible. 5 for 11 from 3. He was doing really everything for Minnesota tonight. On top of that, he was a plus 14 overall in the game. I mean, I felt like Nickeil was so aggressive, and he knew tonight, and you could see it, Andrew, that without Dante DiVincenzo, without Naz Reid, he understood the assignment. He knew what he had to do. He had to come in and be aggressive, and he knew that if he was aggressive, Minnesota had a chance to win tonight.
I mean, when he popped into the ball game the first time, like, legitimately, the Wolves are kind of dead in the water, down 16. No one was really playing with any sort of fire, and Nickeil came in and just instant impact, got everyone going again. Took a little bit longer for Ant to get going, but that's the pain of having a 23-year-old as your megastar. But man, when he got it going, though, I mean, that fourth quarter, he went absolutely nuts. Overtime, he went nuts. And the team feeds off of him. So Nickeil, credit to him. He's the guy that kept him in it. Honestly, Ant closed that fourth quarter like a superstar. And those are the things that, like, this season has been disappointing. I think everyone can objectively say, like, going from Western Conference Finals to this team, we can say it's a disappointment. That being said, when the playoffs start, you have Anthony Edwards. And when he can turn it on like this and score, 30 points in the 30 points in fourth quarter or second half and overtime. I mean, he's going punch for punch with Jokic in the fourth quarter. That's the hope for the postseason.
And you see him, like, so Edwards has obviously a slow game too, and then he just erupts, right? He just absolutely erupts there and ends the game tonight with 34 points, 8 assists, 10 rebounds. I posted about it earlier that he was struggling so bad. He had a horrendous first half, looked disinterested, 10 points. There was like, 7 minutes left in the game or something, and Ant just takes off, like, out of absolutely nowhere. Like, dude just went insane tonight. Super Saiyan, superheroes, only superstar players can do that kind of thing. And then once he gets quick
correction. Ant had 29 points in the second half and overtime. But, casually, for the lack of that 1 point, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, played all but 3 minutes.
Just insane, too. And then, so Ant, the same thing happened in the Pistons game, the other game in a way, right? Like, starts off, has 5 points at halftime in the Pistons game. Tonight, he had 5 points at halftime. Looked weird. Then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, I got to score. Starts being a little bit more aggressive. A couple shots go down. Starts feeling good. Starts getting that little dance move he's got going. Keeps going a little bit more. Starts dabbing some guys up, gets that one big play. And then after that, all you need for Anthony Edwards is that little bit of juice where he feels that, like, energy come back in him, a little bit of swagger, and he feeds off of it, and then it's over. Like, it's just like an avalanche every single time. when Anthony Edwards is like talking, making emotions, looking at Mike Conley and dancing, like dabbing up players, like that's when, and he's talking to the crowd you saw in Denver, like that's when he's special. That's when he has the look in his eye of like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these star players that like this thing, just this, I can see it with Ant, and he had that in this game, man. And then he just took off from there. I mean, it was incredible to watch. He was hitting enormous 3-point shots. I thought he was hitting right. He hit those massive threes later in the game too, after, obviously been struggling over the last handful of weeks here. So it's like in his hand, it was still wrapped up a little bit. So I don't know, like maybe if that affected him tonight, but I mean, Ant was great, man. He was so awesome. What did you think of, Rudy Gobert? Because he fouled out tonight. I thought Gobert had a really good game, though. I mean, 19 points for Gobert, 12 points. I will say this about Gobert, though. He did miss some defensive, like, there were multiple 3-point shots where I felt like Gobert kind of like either misread the rotation or didn't, push up on Jokic. But like overall, he did play pretty good. He ended up fouling out, though. What did you think of Rudy Gobert tonight?
It's tough because this type of matchup just sucks for Rudy Gobert. Like Jokic traditionally has kind of dominated him. When the Wolves play Jokic at their best, it's, last season, Cat lining up on Jokic. They put Rudy on whoever the worst shooter is and let him kind of free safety roam, whether that's doubling Jokic or whatever. Rudy, I think he looked pretty darn good when Randall was covering Jokic. When Jokic got in an ISO with Rudy, he pretty much cooked him every single time, which Jokic had shown throughout the entire game that really anyone you put on him, he's going to cook. But Randall is just strong enough to kind of mess with him, I think, if that makes sense. Like Rudy is also strong, but he plays a much more cerebral defensive game where like his positioning and all that stuff is really important. Randall just kind of bodies him. And sometimes that sucks when you're trying to back a guy down and you just have a forearm in your back and it's Julius Randle. Like that probably affects your shot and your drive. Rudy, though, he was fine. I think the last 3 games he has been superb and a huge part of like why the Wolves are in these games. Tonight he was okay, which, you get the win. Sometimes you're going to be okay on certain nights. And when you're guarding a 3-time MVP, okay is probably a really good thing. I mean, the other guy I was really impressed with is just, I mean, honestly, Josh Minott. I didn't think I'd be coming into a post-game pod saying like, man, Josh Minott, but hit a couple threes, had a good little like backdoor layup, played good defense. They got good minutes out of him. I think when we saw the suspensions come down, everyone was kind of worried of like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Is this going to be like Luka Garza getting cooked? But I don't know. It's nice to see Josh Minott out there running around. So what do you think?
Yeah, so I posted a post about that. So it's got a lot of interactions. So about Josh, and shout out to Josh, man. He really performed really well. I was wrong about Josh Minott tonight. I thought it would have been, more crucial to put more offense in when they were struggling in the beginning of the game. They looked like they needed something. They were dead in the water. So I thought they needed to go to they have solid defense in the Timberwolves. They look like they were kind of doing okay at some point. So I was like, maybe they need some offense. And that's going to be like Rob Dillingham, Luka Garza. But I was terribly wrong. I mean, Josh came in. He was fantastic. 8 points right off the rip, right away, hitting threes. He was incredible tonight. I thought he played solid defense every time he was in. Ended the game with 10 points, I believe. Yep, 10 points in 12 minutes, which is absolutely insane. 4 of 8. 2 for 2. I mean, 2 for 4. What do you end plus minus? Because, plus 14. Josh was awesome. Like, he was awesome. So,
he was great.
And I always say, like, if players like prove you wrong or anything like that, like, it's awesome, man. I want the team to win. I want them to succeed. So, like, shout out to Josh, man, proving people wrong. Like, that's why sports is so special, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what player is going to make an impact, and any player can write their own destiny. So, yeah, shout out to Josh, and shout out to everyone as well for reminding me of my failures in the tweet. But maybe I jinxed it and reversed it. So maybe, I just got to tweet bad things about people and they turn the game around, because I put that out a little bit of stuff about Ant tonight. And guess what? Ant came out, and, maybe I'm –
You just have maybe to be a troll account now.
Maybe it's just one of those things. Maybe I have to turn into a troll account, man. But, yeah.
Years of credibility. You just throw it out the window now, and it's
dude,
trolls.
It's time, man. It's time. This I love this suit. Happy for Josh. Proved himself. Yes, he did. He proved himself, man. That's dope. Like, what a moment for Josh Minot, who's trying to get minutes in the rotation,
The
especially when
other thing
Terrence
I'd
Shannon
say
Jr.
just
wasn't in. Go
the
for it.
other thing I'd say just about Josh is like I got to spend some time with him last Thursday. He did a charity event where he went and donated literally like hundreds of
I saw it. It was
baby
awesome.
carriers, bouncy pads, diaper bags, all sorts of like baby equipment to a 24-hour daycare center in North Minneapolis that is looking to build on their infant center from 10 beds to 24 beds. And thanks to Josh, they're able to do that. I mean, this dude's a guy that stays late every single day after practice, every media availability. He's out there shooting free throws or working with a coach. He does stuff in the community. He has a kid. Like he's just a good dude. And to see him get moments like this, especially these end of the bench guys. I mean, Jalen Clark didn't have a good game, but watching him come kind of emerge over the last couple months, it's just so cool to see these guys at the end of the bench. Because, you know, genuinely as a fan, like you're not really focusing on Josh Minot when this team's blowing games in the clutch. But when they get these moments, it's just kind of like good for him. Like he's been working his tail off. He's trying to be a good person. He does stuff in the community. And like it just kind of goes to show that like all of that work does pay off at some point. It's just who knows when.
And even the other night, like that's amazing. Josh, like, yeah, like I if you haven't already followed Andrew, you can see his at there in the bottom corner of the screen on X. Like, give him a follow for sure because you can see Andrew, who writes for the Timberwolves, go out and go into the community with Josh. Go to the charity events with guys like Josh Minot, with guys like Jalen Clark, Jaden McDaniels. It's Rudy Gobert. I mean, we could just keep naming them, but it's pretty awesome because Andrew's always posting up close content. So if you want A1 Timberwolves content and you want to see the players and what they're kind of doing off the court, just give them a follow because that's where I would look and spend. He's been A1 content of these guys. I mean, they're not just basketball players; they're humans at the end of the day, and they're awesome people, and they've been doing some great things of late, man. Speaking of Jaden McDaniels, he had a really off game tonight. I feel like, and we got to talk about it. We can't always talk about the positives. We are here to cover the whole game, right? So Jaden McDaniels tonight, what'd you think of his game? A little bit rough, 12 points, ends with 12 points, but 5 of 17 shooting, 7 rebounds for Jaden. So he kind of turns the game around, but I thought in the beginning of the game, for most of the game, he was quiet, man. He was really, really struggling, Andrew.
Finished with a -6. Net rating was -4, which like I'm a big net rating guy because it kind of isolates like what your impact is. It's to me, it's one of the better stats. It just, if you're looking at something, what did they do in the game? I mean, what I will say is years past, Jaden McDaniels would start off shooting 1 for 3 and he would finish the game shooting 1 for 4. And if I'm to take a positive from this game, Jaden kept shooting. He kept driving. In overtime, he's trying to get putbacks. He's trying to get it to his mid-range game. And past years of Jaden McDaniels, that just doesn't happen. He would go 0 for 3, 1 for 4, and then his offense, he would just shut it down. He would become passive. He wouldn't be looking to drive anymore. He wouldn't really even be looking for the ball. So to me, again, he had a rough game. Just, you know, on paper, it wasn't a good game. The eye test, he always brings it defensively, but offensively, he was part of the reason that the Nuggets got out to that 16-point lead in the first quarter. But to Jaden's credit, he kept rebounding. He kept fighting on defense. He kept trying to make an impact. He didn't foul out, which, again, past years of Jaden, when the offense isn't going, we start seeing those frustration fouls. We start seeing those hacks that don't need to be there. So, again, it wasn't his best game, but there's a lot of encouraging signs for Jaden of like, in the future, these are what we want to see. And Jaden, again, to his credit, stayed involved in a game where if he would have checked out or fouled out, they probably lose it. If Josh Minot had to play more than 12 games just after we stopped, like we're hyping him up, if he had to play more than 12 minutes, like they probably lose the game. So, again, like you said, it was a rough one for Jaden, but he was there at the end, which we haven't been able to say a lot of his career. Another guy that kind of stuck out to me, and this one was more just like, I'm a big Rob guy. So like, to me, the just seeing Rob on the court is fun. I mean, he had a dunk, he had a steal. I mean,
Yeah.
how excited are we to just see Rob Dillingham get minutes?
I mean, it was fun to see Rob in. I didn't even realize he was coming in. Then all of a sudden, I see some guy, this tiny dude, just running out the court, electric, speedy, faster than everybody, and I'm like, oh snap, there's Rob! Like we're watching it with the boys, and everyone's like, yo, Rob Dillingham! Like everyone's loving it, and I'm pretty sure other people were saying the same thing. Everyone seems to love Rob Dillingham in Minnesota. But yeah, incredible few minutes there. Only played 4 minutes in the game, but like you said, affected the game. He just came in and he did what he needed to do. Like that was it. He made an impact on the game. The dunk is awesome. I think that's like an energizing play for the players. People feed off that, especially when a guy doesn't get a lot of playing time. The players know that, right? So to see somebody that works in practice with you, who's an awesome person off the court, the guys are, they want Rob to succeed, right? All the veterans and all the players. When he comes in, he has like a really good stint, and then on top of that, he gets like a dunk at his size. I mean, that's got to pump up like the team, man. So like, I'm just saying,
the bench went crazy after it. There's a couple camera angles where the bench was going nuts after Rob had that dunk.
All those things are
he's almost like the little brother of the team.
Yeah, he seems like
just
it, right?
Everyone wants him.
Everyone loves Rob. Like he's just fun, and he's just like, yeah, he's just such a fun player. I thought too, going back on your Jaden McDaniels thing, I just want to retract for 2 seconds here. When we talk about Jaden struggling in the game, but it's how he finished. He still ended with 8 rebounds. He still made an impact. And then on top of that, who was the guy who had to play when Rudy Gobert fouled out and guard Jokic? It was Jaden McDaniels in overtime. And Jaden did it, right? That was so crucial. It will never show up on the box score. But what Jaden was able to do and try to hold down the 4, which is not an easy task when he's probably like almost like 100 pounds lighter than Jokic, holding him down. He had to go up against a jump ball against him, which obviously didn't go the best, but like, he was out there giving them everything he had. And that's all you can ask for Jaden McDaniels in the future, for him growing as a young Wolf. I thought that was like just a telling sign of how important Jaden is. And like you said, he might have struggled, but Jaden going out there and just doing that tonight, that's character, man. That's heart. That's something in the playoffs. And you see him, he's frustrated tonight when he wasn't doing good. Like Jaden cares. He cares more than a lot of the players do. I feel like, and he just cares so much. Like he wants to be great. He truly does. And so I'm excited to see Jaden's future, for sure, man. I thought everything tonight was just such a fun game. The last guy we really haven't talked too much about. We got a couple players. We got Mike Conley here, who had I thought he ended the game really good, but struggled in the beginning. We're not going to go over too much about Mike Conley, other than at the end of the game, again, it's getting tight. He scored some crucial points. He had a 3. Veteran guy to be out there. You need those guys, right? You need a veteran player. But moving on to Julius Randle, man, Julius Randle tonight. Fun game. Fun game for Randle, huh?
Yeah. I mean, first I want to say, if anyone has any comments or anyone has questions they want to ask, I know we have 2,000 people in the live here. Like, throw them in the comments. We want this to be a fan-oriented show, so please.
Yeah. Plus, if you send a direct message, we don't even have DMs right now, which is crazy. But if you send a direct message here on this channel to the Daily Wolves, like, we're gonna get you on this show. If you want to share something, if you want to share your the moment when they hit the shots, the free throws, or what you were thinking in certain situations, like, we want to bring fans on. We want to start incorporating people to come on, not just have comments come on the screen. All you have to do is send us a direct message right now. We're going to send you the link. We'll get you on the show tonight. And moving forward, we're trying to incorporate fans more. But yeah, take it away, Andrew.
But back to Julius Randle.
Yep.
I mean, he is just it's been like a constant struggle all season, because I have friends that follow the Knicks. I know some of the reporters that cover the Knicks, and what I keep hearing is this is what Julius does. He is awesome for weeks at a time, and then it falls off, and it's frustrating because you don't know why it falls off. I mean, we're at 4 months of Julius being awesome now. Like, he's been great since the first of the year. I'm starting to think that he might just be a really good fit. And again, he was under Chris Finch in New Orleans his 1 year there. Him and Finch had a great relationship there. He was excited to come here because of Finch. And Tim Conley has a way of just finding these guys that maybe don't have the best view around the league and getting them to fit. And, for as bad as the late game stuff was tonight, which we can touch on that too if you want to, Evan, but for as bad as the late game stuff is, these are the things that I look at when I'm looking at Chris Finch, and it's like, is he a good coach or is he a bad coach?
Yeah.
He's taking a guy in Julius Randle that like drove Knicks fans nuts, and he has gotten 4 months of consistent play out of him. Like, that's a good coach. That's a guy that earns the trust of his guys. That's a guy that can motivate people. Maybe he needs to have, someone remind him that like Mike Conley can get the ball on an inbound pass, but Julius was awesome again tonight. I mean, he just brute force works his way to the rim. He has that weird mid-range game. He's not afraid to shoot threes. On defense, he did the best job against Jokic, which if you're looking at a playoff series, you now have Naz Reid, who, again, for some reason, elevates to a superhuman level against Jokic. And you have Julius Randle, who can serviceably guard him, which I guarantee you New York fans weren't thinking that last year. I mean, he just plays with so much force and heart. And it's weird because you look at him on the TV or when I've gotten the chance to talk to him, like he's a really like soft-spoken guy. He doesn't really show a ton of emotion. But then you just see him sticking an arm into Jokic's back and standing him up. And it's like, holy cow, this dude's all grit.
Yeah, you see that tonight when he gets that like dunk and he's just so energetic. Dunk's kind of right by the Joker, and it was awesome to see. He's had moments like that in Detroit game, this game. He's getting you can see the buy-in. Like before, I feel like earlier in the year he didn't have that. Now he has this buy-in where he's looking at the bench. He knows they're his guys. When Ant makes a basket, he'll flex with Ant. When someone else like Conley, anybody, he flexes with the team. He feels included now, and I feel like you can see it now. He's part of the team. He's accepted it. He's bought in completely, and the players have. That's why Randall's changed his whole game. That's why Minnesota went 11-3 in March. That's why they were 13-0 straight with Julius Randle. He's been awesome. He's changed everybody's perspective of him. Good for Randle, and shout out to Julius Randle because he was again amazing in the Detroit game, amazing tonight, and he really helped Minnesota win both games by just that grit, toughness, grinding, and he's just such a big physical force, man. But yeah, let's talk about the officiating. Let's talk about the end of game stuff real quick before we wrap things up here. And actually, I'm going to take a pause real quick because we're partnered with SeatGeek. We are partnered with SeatGeek, the best sports betting app out there. For those who don't know, if you go on SeatGeek today, you can go get concert tickets. It's your best place to go get Timberwolves tickets. And guess what? The Twins home opener is coming up this Thursday. And if you use our promo code, the Daily Wolves, all one word, we're giving you $20 off your next SeatGeek purchase. That's right, the Daily Wolves, all one word. SeatGeek, your one-stop ticket spot. But yeah, man, the officiating tonight, Andrew. What was going on
Hold
there,
on,
man?
Evan. First, we have tickets to give away here. Not only are we partnered with SeatGeek, if you go to my X right now, ADukeMN, we are doing a two-ticket giveaway for the April 11th game against Brooklyn. They're Section 211, mid-court, 5 rows up in the second deck. Great seats. I sit in them often when I'm not covering games. And I mean, we just want to get people out to these games, get people that don't have a chance to go out to these games. All you have to do, go to my Twitter account, follow me, like it and repost it. You do have to be following me and the Daily Wolves to get the tickets, like and repost it. And we're doing a randomizer wheel on Friday to give them away. So if you're interested, you want to go out to the game, we're trying to give back a little bit here.
Let's go.
I'm assuming, man. Evan, officiating.
Yeah. Let's go in officiating. Now that we got the tickets out there and people can enter the giveaway, which is awesome. You definitely should enter because that's a good deal here. But the officiating tonight, that was weird because, I posted about it early or a little bit ago too. I'm just going to read off my post here, kind of what I went off of because it was crazy, man. I mean, this is a little bit before the game ended. The Denver Nuggets had 40 free throw attempts. Minnesota Timberwolves had 22 free throw attempts. The Wolves had 15 points off the free throws. The Nuggets had 31, which is a game changer. The difference in points, Andrew, tonight. I think a lot of it's with the aggression of Anthony Edwards and some other players not driving in. What do you think of the officiating tonight overall? How was it for you?
I mean, I may not look like it, but like I'm an old man who likes games to have a little bit of physicality, likes games to move. I'm a big anti-instant replay guy. Like I like the flow of the game. That being said, 56 fouls in 58 minutes of play. That is a foul every minute and 5 seconds. There is no flow. There is no getting a game. There is no getting a run together. It's
Mm.
That's more the officiating thing that bothers me. Like home team, Jokic is playing. I have the end game stats. Denver shot 44, made 33. Minnesota ended up shooting 25. So 20 free throw disparity. 23 free throw difference between the two teams. And like home team, Jokic gets a lot of fouls. Like Aaron Gordon got a ton of fouls that he drew. Those things I feel like just happen in some games where like the refs are just calling a certain way, or Jokic figures something out where he's shooting 20, 25 free throws. The thing that really bothers me is just the amount of fouls, because the Wolves play they don't call a lot of plays. Finch lets his guys play within the flow. I'm sure long-term fans of this team are sick of hearing about the flow, because that's what Finch talks about all the time for 4 years now. But that's how he lets his offense go. People gain momentum. He likes going with the hot hand. And when there's a foul every minute, you just don't get that. And it really kills the Wolves offense. I mean, if there's a makeup, they called that foul at the end on Nikhil, which I tweeted about it. Everyone go send like a card to Zaza Pachulia, because that foul is called, because in the Western Conference Finals, he stepped under Kawhi's leg. And ever since, you got to give people landing space and you can't make contact with legs. I guess it evens out because that was the most crucial foul called, and it ended up with Na winning the game. Also, like, shout out Nikhil for missing that second free throw. I think a lot of guys wouldn't have had the wherewithal to do it, even if the coach is screaming at you to miss it. He missed it, and that ends the game. Doesn't let Denver call a timeout, doesn't let Denver reset and have a tip in. Kudos to Nikhil again.
It was awesome, and you know, the last play comes up, and I honestly, like, I didn't even see the foul call right away. Like, I didn't hear it, and then it was loud in the arena too. Like on the TV and TNT, they had it. They did a really good job, right? And they make you feel like you're kind of there with the crowd and the energy. They boost a little bit when it's on national TV games. So I didn't hear the foul call right away. So I thought it was over for a second. I thought it was over for a split second. Then all of a sudden, everyone's like stopping, and it was crazy. I don't know if anyone else like watching felt that reaction. So to be like 3 free throws, and you see the replay, and you're like, did he get it off? Did he get it off? And then you see that Nikhil has the ball out, and it's just one of those moments that, like, there are so many kids and people in general, but a lot of kids growing up in the state of Minnesota right now that are watching this game tonight, that are watching the Minnesota Timberwolves play. And those are the games that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. Those are the games that they're going to become a lifelong Timberwolves fan potentially, or even the Fairweather fan that hops on before the playoffs here, becomes a fan going into the playoffs. Those are the game-changing moments, man. I mean, as like a sports fan, like, that was so sick. Like, it was awesome. But we got to talk about them being like abysmal, horrendous in the clutch. They are just absolutely like, first of all, Andrew, think about this. They had multiple opportunities of game-winning shots where plays were drawn up, and I guarantee you Chris Finch didn't draw up a play to dribble the ball up for 13, 12 seconds and then throw it to like Julius Randle for like a fadeaway air ball or something like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with this team? Because they feel like it's like their closing man right now is like, even to go into overtime, it felt like they didn't have to do that. They were up, 5 points on the Nuggets. They felt like they could have done it. Then Anthony Edwards has that one play too where he like turns the ball over like a what are we doing there with, like, what's going on, man? And then is this concerning to people in here, plus concerning to you, Andrew, for the playoffs? How do they close games in the playoffs?
I think when the playoffs start, Anthony Edwards is not in charge of these situations. Pulling back the curtain a little bit, I can guarantee you, I'd bet my life on it, that Finch is not drawing up these plays like this. That play where Julius shot the 3 to end, I think it was regulation. There's so many overtimes, but the regulation 3 that Julius shot, like, Ant had 15 seconds to get the ball up and get into a set, get into an action, do a pick and roll, do a dribble handoff, do anything. And he ended up just kind of dribbling it up and then passing it to Randall, and Randall shot a 3. Like, Finch isn't drawing that up in the huddle. He's drawing up an actual play. The first overtime play, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what that was, like the one where Nikhil ended up forcing a shot. Jaden, I don't know what the play was. I'm not in Denver, so I can't ask him. I think when the playoffs start, though, this is going to be Mike Conley's job. Finch, most of the season, has talked about Mike Conley is their best clutch player. Mike Conley's the person he trusts the most. I think he's giving Anthony Edwards a lot of these opportunities to build up confidence and to like learn from them. Because I guarantee you in the film session tomorrow, Anthony Edwards isn't going to have a fun time watching all of these. But you got to get these reps in. If this is how they choose to run crunch time in the playoffs, this is definitely concerning, because then it's Anthony Edwards is just not ready for this. I think when playoffs start, these inbounds are going to go to Mike Conley. They're going to do like a Mike and Rudy pick and roll where Ant gets it whirling around an off ball pick, and then he's going downhill, or something where he doesn't have to make decisions. And it's just, Ant, you're already going towards the rim. Obviously you're going to lay up. Or Ant, you're running towards the corner. Obviously you're going to do a 3 when you hit that corner off a pick. I just think in my gut, I just think that what we're seeing right now is Chris Finch trying to just give Ant those experiences. So you can point at it at tape in this offseason. Ant can learn from all of this. And it's just reps. It's like podcasting. It's like writing. It's like working a cashier at a gas station. It's like anything else in life. You need reps to get good at it. I unfortunately think this is where Ant's getting his reps. And right now he's not good at it. For all we've talked about how great he was, Ant is the reason they came back in the fourth and they ended up winning this game. He's not good in the clutch time yet. We saw it in double OT where he just threw the ball away. And again, thank goodness Russ bricked a free throw and then fouled Nikhil. But
missed a layup too. Remember that? Missed a layup.
Yep.
You missed the
That's
layup.
my take on it. That's my take on it. I would be concerned if this is what they're running in the playoffs, but I really don't think this is what they're going to run in the playoffs. I think it's just getting Ant reps under pressure now so that 3 years from now, he is significantly more comfortable.
So before we ended things, we appreciate everyone for joining. Also, shout out to everyone in here. We're almost at 3,000 people watching right now live. That's a lot of interest in the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is crazy. There hasn't been interest in a long time. And we appreciate everyone for tuning in. Anybody who's an NBA fan around the league who's tuning in, because we're one of the lives going right now too. Shout out to the other fan bases who are kind of joining in to see our recap tonight. We appreciate all you joining. But what's your so Memphis, they lost tonight, right? The Grizzlies. People are wondering, the Golden State Warriors, the Grizzlies, what's going on? What was better for the Wolves moving forward? If Memphis lost tonight, if Golden State lost tonight, Andrew, we both agree, I think, that having Memphis lose tonight was probably beneficial for the Timberwolves. We came out with the post the other day that we believe, Memphis is the team that if a team was going to fall, we feel like it would be the Grizzlies. Why do you feel like, first of all, what does it mean in the standings tonight because Memphis lost? I'll ask you that first. And what does it mean for the Timberwolves? And then moving forward, why is Memphis the team that we both feel kind of, in your opinion, it's probably the team that is most likely to fall for Minnesota to catch?
So Memphis losing tonight puts Memphis at a tie with Minnesota. They're both 19 and a half games back of first place, both 44 and 32. Wolves are now a half game behind Golden State. It's kind of counterintuitive thinking Memphis losing because they were ahead of Golden State is better, but the Wolves don't own the tiebreaker against the Grizzlies or Golden State. Grizzlies beat Minnesota both times earlier this season. I think Golden State owns a 2-1 tiebreaker against Minnesota. Regardless, they don't have the tiebreakers. So for the Wolves to be ahead of them, they need to literally be ahead of them. Grizzlies losing, why that's the better outcome, in my opinion, is because the Wolves still play the Grizzlies. So they have a tied record right now. All the Wolves have to do, match the schedule with the Grizzlies, beat them in Memphis, I think this weekend. Yeah, I believe it's this weekend. Beat them in Memphis this weekend, and then you got the 6th seed. The other thing that I think is like beneficial with the Warriors beating the Grizzlies is the Grizzlies right now are pretty down low. I mean, I don't know if people saw the Jaren Jackson Jr. quote, but they asked him if it could be any worse, and he said, well, we're not homeless. Not ideal when your second best player is saying that type of stuff. Ja is dealing with weird hamstring things. He's dealt with shoulder things this year. He's pretty much only playing like maybe 2 out of every 3 games. Team's been banged up. They fired their head coach, and they have a brutal schedule the rest of the way. I mean, Minnesota game aside, they play, let me bring it up here again. They still have games against the Heat, the Pistons, the Nuggets, and the Mavericks. I mean,
and Minnesota and the Timberwolves, right?
And Minnesota.
Yep.
Their only real gimme win is against the Hornets, whereas the Wolves play Brooklyn twice, Utah once, and Philadelphia, which are all egregiously tanking for Cooper.
And Milwaukee, Milwaukee without Dame,
and
right?
Milwaukee without Dame, which if there's a trap game on the schedule, Milwaukee without Dame might be the trap game. I think the Wolves wake up for Memphis because they love beating Memphis. I think the 4 games against losing teams, those teams are so egregiously tanking right now that if Jordan Clarkson scores 12 points in the first half, they bench him for the second half. The trap game is going to be that Milwaukee game. I mean, when you're looking around the league, though, Golden State has a really tough schedule to finish the season too. LA is probably out of reach now. We're 2.5 games behind them.
Yeah.
But they have a really tough schedule as well. I think this win tonight, coupled with the rest of their schedule and Memphis losing, really sets them up to just take that 6 seed, which right now the 3 seed is Denver. And if you're Minnesota and you're looking at a 6-3 matchup between Denver and Minnesota, I mean, let's go. Like, start the playoffs today. I inject it into my veins at this point. And that, again, that is realistically probably what's going to happen, either Minnesota, Denver, or Minnesota, LA.
And that would be awesome for the Wolves because obviously you see they don't fear the Nuggets and they're in the head. I feel like the Timberwolves and Nuggets, like how like the Nuggets are kind of like like, you know, in Minnesota, everybody watching right now, you feel like you grew up watching the Twins just playing the Yankees every year, and the Yankees for a while they had the Twins for this longest time, and it was like this mental battle. It didn't matter what players were there. I feel like that's kind of where the Nuggets are right now with the Timberwolves. It's just like they're in their head and whatnot. But you know, I love the Nuggets. You know, the Nuggets fans. I can't say anything bad about them. I love the Nuggets guys as well. We had one of the Nuggets reporters on our show, Adam Marr. Shout out to him. And actually today I hopped on a different podcast, the Fringe Fanatic Sports podcast as well. They had me on as a guest, so shout out to them. The Nuggets they're great people, but they had me on to talk about the game tonight. That episode will be coming out in the future, and we will post it. I'm just waiting for them to edit it on their side. It's their show. I was a guest on it, so once it's out, we'll put it out. But yeah, it's been great having everybody on here. We passed 3,000. That's actually the highest I think live we've had probably so far. I think this is the record.
Yeah.
So shout out to everyone who came out. 3,000 people. It's amazing. It's a Tuesday night. It's 1:05 a.m. Central Time here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I think we're going to wrap it up here, guys. We've got, shout out to everyone again joining. There's always going to be more stuff in the future. We got giveaways, playoff surprises coming up if they were to make it to the playoffs or play in. There's things coming. There's also some special guests that are lining up here potentially in the next few weeks that we have lined up for you guys for the podcast. We hope you enjoy the show tonight. This is the Daily Wolves Courtside. And as always, go Wolves.
Go Wolves.